Are there spiritual lessons in the movie called The Matrix? Hi, I'm John RAINEY. In the previous video, I gave you a brief recap and overview of the original movie, The Matrix. As I said, I was captivated from the very opening scene. But as engaging as this movie was for me, somehow I knew that there were deeper lessons to be gleaned from this movie. So let's talk about them. The movie is essentially about the self-discovery process of one man as he transitions from his Matrix name and identity as Thomas Anderson into his real name and identity as Neo. In the Greek, the word Neo means new. The Apostle Paul actually uses this word when he speaks about the new man in his letters to the Corinthians and the Ephesians. 2 Corinthians 5:17, the Passion Translation. Now, if anyone is enfolded into Christ, he has become an entirely new creation. All that is related to the old order has vanished. Behold, everything is fresh and new. Ephesians 2:14 and 15, English Standard Version. For he himself is our peace, who has made us both one, and has broken down in his flesh the dividing wall of hostility by abolishing the law of commandments expressed in ordinances, that he might create in himself one new man in place of the two, so making peace. The New Living Translation. For Christ himself has brought peace to us. He united Jews and Gentiles into one people when, in his own body on the cross, he broke down the wall of hostility that separated us. He did this by ending the system of law with its commandments and regulations. He made peace between Jews and Gentiles by creating in himself one new people from the two groups. So in Christ, every believer has become a new creation or a new man. You see, before Jesus, God dealt with two groups of people, Jews and Gentiles. But now he has combined believing Jews and Gentiles into one new race called the new man. So now the only two groups that God deals with during this present time are believers, that is the new man, and unbelievers, that is the old man. So one of the first revelations that you must get is the revelation that the old you is dead and the new you is a new creation in Christ and part of the new man or the new race of men and women that Jesus created. So never say, I'm just an old sinner saved by grace. You used to be an old sinner, but when you were saved by grace through faith, you were regenerated or regened and born again. Now you have the life of God inside you. Your spirit literally has the DNA of God. You are not God, but you are his son or daughter. And just as children receive their nature from their parents, born again children receive their spiritual nature from God. This is Christianity 101. But you would be surprised how many Christians don't understand this and don't live it out in their everyday lives. If you are a new creation, then you ought to think like it. You ought to talk like it. You ought to act like it. When you encounter a Christian or even a spiritual leader that doesn't exemplify the nature and character of Christ, it is because they still think like an old sinner instead of a new creation in Christ. So your goal must be to begin to reprogram your mind to who God says you really are. The new creation realities that describe who you are in Christ. Then you must begin to think, talk, and act like a son or daughter of God. You are the child of the Most High God. You are a citizen of heaven. And as a citizen of heaven, you have the ability to put on all of the characteristics of believers. But this will only happen if you believe.